Good afternoon, 6th grade. Today we are going to practice being active readers as we read the article, Heating the Atmosphere. You should have found this in Google Classroom and sent a copy to Notability. I am going to model for you being an active reader for this article. A couple things that you want to make sure that you do while you're an active reader is annotate. So one form of annotation that you're going to use is putting a circle around something, and that means that something is unfamiliar to you or unknown. Okay? Another thing you are going to do, it doesn't matter about color, is you're going to put stars next to things that you find are important and that you should know. You will also be putting a question mark and write questions that you have while reading. And lastly, today the skill that we're going to practice is putting an arrow next to something and making a connection. Okay, we are going to start reading, and I will do some examples for you. Heating the atmosphere. The campfire has burned down to a bed of hot coals, perfect for toasting some marshmallows. You get a stick about 1 meter long to keep your hand away from the hot coals. After a minute, the marshmallow is brown and gooey. You pop it into your mouth. Yikes! You didn't wait long enough for it to cool. This story has two intense experiences with heat. It shows two ways that energy can move. One, the coals heat your skin from a distance, and two, the marshmallow transferred energy directly to your tongue when you tried to eat it. When you're an active reader, you also always want to make sure that you read any subtitles and also examine the images. So here it says energy transfers three ways: convection, conduction, and radiation. Okay. When I read this, I can tell that there are two words that are kind of unfamiliar and unknown to me: conduction and radiation. However, convection, I can make a connection to this because I know that we have done labs on convection, and I think about the smoke in the basin lab that we watched the video of. Okay, and then I'm going to continue reading. Energy transfers. Objects in motion have kinetic energy. The faster something moves, the more kinetic energy it has. Particles are always in motion. When I think about this, this also provides a connection. So I'm going to put that arrow next to it. And then I'm going to explain that this is what happened in our lab when the hot water increased the kinetic energy of the water particles. So that is a connection that I'm making to a lab that we did and what I am reading in this, and to help me better make sense of it. I'm going to continue reading right here. They vibrate back and forth in solids and move all over the place in liquids and gases. The amount of kinetic energy in the particles of a material determines its temperatures. In hot materials, particles are moving fast. In cold materials, they are moving more slowly. Conduction. And here I come back to that word that is unknown, so I'm going to circle it. It says here that kinetic energy naturally transfers from a hotter location to a cooler one. In our story, the energy in the hot marshmallow transferred to your tongue. This memorable experience is an example of what happens when energy moves from one place to another by direct contact. That kind of energy transfer is called conduction. So right here, this kind of answered our circle, and we now have a better idea of what conduction is. So I'm actually going to put a star next to this to help make sense of it. So that is an example of how you can do high quality annotations and be an active reader as you're learning. It slows down your reading and helps make sense of information. So as you do this, again, you are using these types of annotations as you work through it, and you are writing the questions down that you have, and you're also writing those connections. And as you read through this, it would be good to have a total of 10 high quality annotations. Try your best and can't wait to see what you produce. Thanks, 6th grade.